from today to 9th September 2022. And as part of this Shikshak Parv, we are conducting several programs. And today's panel discussion is one such program that UGC has been conducting. This program will be live telecast, live streamed on our social media platforms. Thousands of our students and teachers across the country will be watching this program. Today being the first day of the Shikshak Parv, we not only have the panel discussion, but we have also combined two more short events, but very important events as part of today's program. On this day, UGC has decided to announce research fellowship and research grant schemes. Friends, you know that UGC has been giving from time to time research grants and different kinds of fellowships to enable the research ecosystem in our universities across the country. Some time ago, we formed a committee to review all these schemes and come up with more focused research schemes and fellowship schemes. As a result of that, now we have 5 schemes that are going to be announced today. Before we formally announce those schemes, let me very briefly tell you what these schemes are. The first scheme is the Savitribai Jyotirao Phule Fellowship for Single Girl Child. It was there earlier also, but we are continuing this program because it has proved to be a very successful program. As part of this, we will be giving fellowships to the single girl child to encourage them to pursue their research work leading to PhD degree. They will get both JRF and SRF as part of this. We have a number of slots here. Any single girl child who applies for this fellowship will get this fellowship. And the second one that we are announcing is the Dr. Radhakrishnan UGC Postdoctoral Fellowship. We will have close to about 900 fellowships under this scheme, and 30% of them are reserved exclusively for the women candidates. We, of course, will follow all the reservation policies here while awarding these postdoctoral fellowships. These scholars will get 50,000 per month as a fellowship, and they will also get a contingency grant of 50,000 rupees per annum. And this scheme is for 3 years. We are announcing this primarily to promote research in the universities, independent research in the universities by our students who complete their PhD program. Earlier too, this scheme was there, but it was basically limited to the science streams. But now we are expanding this postdoctoral fellowship to all the disciplines, including sciences, engineering, technology, humanities, and social sciences, and also languages. Across the higher educational institutions in the country, the postdoctoral fellows can work. The other scheme that we are announcing is Dr. Diaz Kothari Research Grant for newly recruited faculty members. As you know, when the faculty members join in the beginning, they need some kind of support to kickstart their research activities. And under this, we will be offering 132 research grants to the newly appointed faculty members. They will get up to 10 lakhs as part of this scheme for about 2 years. And we are also offering research grant for in-service faculty members. There are some areas in which they may not be able to get funding, especially in social sciences and humanities. So in this scheme, we have 200 positions, projects that can be allotted. And there also they will get up to 10 lakhs to support their research activities. And the last one is the fellowship for superannuated faculty members. There are many faculty members who are active even after their superannuation. We would like to support such faculty members, and we are offering 100 slots here. They will get 50,000 rupees per month as fellowship, and they will also get a contingency grant of 50,000 rupees per annum. Friends, with this announcement of these schemes, we hope that many of you across the country will apply on our online portal. There is a reviewing process by well-known experts in different domains, and after the experts evaluate your application, you will be awarded these fellowships and the research grants. Friends, today we also wanted to announce the e-Samadhaan portal that UGC has built. Our stakeholders have multiple challenges. They have multiple grievances. And if they cannot find solutions to these grievances within their own institutions, for them, the only recourse is UGC. Therefore, we have a 24/7 grievance redressal system on any aspect of the challenges our stakeholders may be facing. It could be students, it could be staff members or faculty members, or even general public can write to us expressing their grievances, and UGC will make every endeavor to solve these grievances, to find solutions to these grievances, and get back to you whenever you make a complaint on our portal. So let me ask my officers who are there to share the screen, and then we will formally inaugurate these two schemes. So the UGC research grant and fellowship schemes, let's, in the august presence of all my colleagues who have joined in the Zoom meeting, and also all my colleagues from UGC and those who are watching here, let us inaugurate the UGC research grant and fellowship schemes. Let us launch it. So the next one that we are going to launch is the e-Samadhaan, and this is where all the stakeholders of the universities can file their grievances, and UGC will do everything possible to work out solutions to the grievances. So, friends, let us now get back to our main program of today. And today we have outstanding academicians as part of this panel discussion to discuss on the theme Motivated and Energized Teachers in Higher Education. Let me welcome Professor Yogesh Singh, who is Vice Chancellor of Delhi University, who is going to moderate this panel discussion. And we have 4 panelists here. Professor Vinay Kumar Pathak, who is Vice Chancellor, Chhatrapati Sahuji Maharaj University, Kanpur. And we have Professor Anu Singh Lathar, Vice Chancellor, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University. And we have Professor Vijay Kumar Srivatsava, Vice Chancellor, MS University of Vadodara. And Professor Ramashankar Dubey, Vice Chancellor, Central University of Gujarat, Gandhinagar. So let me once more very warmly welcome you to this interesting panel discussion. And I hand over the mic to Professor Yogesh Singh to conduct the proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you. Professor, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Professor Jagdish Kumarji, Chairperson, University Grants Commission, and other respected, outstanding, distinguished faculty members, good afternoon to all of you. First of all, I would like to thank University Grants Commission for for inaugurating two very, very good schemes for research grants and research fellowships. And for this program, first, Happy Teachers' Day to all of you. And to commemorate the occasions of Shikshak 2022. And this is the first session on a theme, Motivated and Energized Teachers in Higher Education. We all understand the importance of teachers and the role of the teachers. And on this Teachers' Day, if we discuss that, how can we motivate and energize our teachers? Because some teachers, as we all know, some teachers influence, impact, intrigue, impress, ignite, inspire lives of so many students. But we are not satisfied with some teachers who are self-motivated. But good number of teachers, more teachers should inspire and change the lives of the students. That's why this topic is very, very important, motivated and energized teachers. The issue is, one is the entry level. When we are recruiting teachers, we should be very, very careful that we are recruiting a person who is teacher type. When we say teacher type means what? We expect some attributes, some qualities from a teacher. So we should be very, very careful. And second is, after the recruitment, the same person will be with us for 35, 40 years. How can we motivate and energize those teachers for a very long period of time? For example, University Grants Commission has instituted a scheme of senior professorship. Because at 50, if you are becoming a professor, what next? What is the motivation? So there's a senior professorship after 10 years, and it is giving benefits to so many, not only so many teachers, but also to the academic standards of universities. So there may be many, many milestones in the life of the teachers. And as UGC chairperson has said, we have a panel of distinguished academicians, Professor Vinay Kumar Pathak, Professor Anuj Singh Lathar, Professor Vijay Kumar Srivastav, and Professor Ramashankar Dubey. So I would like to request Professor Vinay Kumar Pathak, who is the Vice Chancellor of Chhatrapati Shahuji Maharaj University, Kanpur, to share his views on the subject. Professor Vinay Kumar Pathak.
Thanks to Professor Yogesh Singh ji. Am I audible?
Yes,
Professor?
you are audible.
And I really want to thank UGC Chairman, Professor Jagdish, for giving such wonderful schemes for the teachers, for doing research, and e-Samadhan portal to all of us. Thanks to all my colleagues who have joined on this meeting, virtual meeting, and the panelists, co-panelists, and Happy Teachers' Day. So today we are having a topic of motivated and energized teacher in higher education. By reading this topic, by learning this topic, it appears somewhere that there is a fallout in the motivation and in the energy of faculty members, what I thought, and that's why this topic has become very pertinent to discuss, all of us to put our views on the panel and to the common public. I feel that the higher education and the teaching profession is at a point of inflection. A point of inflection due to certain other kind of things which is happening. One important thing which has happened in last 10, 15 years is the technology. If we all look to the technology has taken space in all the other kind of things, like we have got an electrical engine from the IC engine, the music industry has changed, the health industry has changed, but the teaching industry or teaching profession, not industry, has also changed due to the intervention or disruption in the technology. So we are discussing the technologies, we are discussing and having the panel on the Teachers' Day on the disruption also of the technology, what has happened worldwide. And that's what we are thinking, that at the fourth industrial revolution, the cusp of the fourth industrial revolution, really we need teachers who knows technologies, who knows how to disseminate, and the knowledge dissemination is not only the point today. We are also at the cusp where startup, innovations, incubations, and the global challenges and global competition is there. 30 years before, 20 years before, the students were not doing so much verification what they are doing to it. Now they have got gadgets, they have got internet, they have got lectures of several people, they have got integrated services from where they can get lectures. And at this outset, we are here to discuss how we will get the energized and the motivated teachers. In our ethos, in our Indian system, and what we used to preach also, the teaching is one profession which is a very noble profession. Yes, I do agree it's a noble profession. But the people who join teaching also have got their aspirations. Although money, people say, is not important for teacher, but it is also important for teacher. And although we say that money and the other services are not for the motivation, but yes, they also motivate us. I think this is a time when the higher education has to look into the different parameters or the different dimensions why the teaching profession is first not attracting good people. If they are there, they are not getting selected. And if they are in the system, they are not able to contribute what we were expecting, the society was expecting, the universities were expecting, the students were expecting to contribute. One important thing which came into my mind by studying all the universities, I do belong to the technological background, but bringing to all the best universities in the world, I'm thinking that our teachers is getting very less freedom in the terms of bureaucracy. If we want to buy something, there are rules, regulations. If we want to do interdisciplinary research, there are. So I think one important thing, which is my view, is that although we run state systems, central systems, government systems, they are very good and they are very safe, but still there is a need of doing more proficiency, and there is a need for the faculty members to go beyond those kind of things. Liberal rules are required. Liberal rules are required in the sense that they can open their companies. They can also open their entrepreneurship, because we teach entrepreneurship, but we cannot become entrepreneur because we are faculty members. We cannot easily become board of directors in the companies. So I think it's a time, like the foreign faculty members, we should be also enabled to do entrepreneurship, innovations, incubations, and all other kind of things, so that we have got different dimensions in those things. Although we have championed, we have practiced, we have got in news, we have got in papers, the teacher can go to the industry, industry can come to the teaching, but it is not happening. I think that's also one important point, which at this juncture we have to look for, that yes, the teachers can go here and there and come back and really do. If it is not, that should not be on the wishes of a teacher, but that should be a mandatory, like what we do, like a military exercise or some kind of exercise that should be mandated in a career. I don't know, but the fast promotions or slow promotions or promotion without accountability, how much it has damaged the institutions and higher educations, that has still we have to actually assess. But fast promotions are important due to the motivations, but the promotions without any accountability are also deterring to the systems. So best teachers, and if you can come to this bar, that is also important, that we can have to have highly motivated and energized teachers, so that they can work upon. The fourth important thing is that contractual faculty, because we have got two models. One is a regular faculty, other is contract. And now the self-finance and the contractual faculty or an ad hoc faculty is a reality. In the state universities, they are in the tune of 70 to 80% taking the burdens of the academics. I think we have still not thought about those faculty members. I think once they are taking a load from 60 to 70% in a state university as a guest lecturer, as a contract lecturer, as a self-finance kind of a thing, I think their notions and we come to have, I have seen several teachers struggling and going here and there. I think there should be some model for them also to grow in our ecosystem. And all the governments, UGC and all other people can come and have kind of a growth for those kind of a thing. The fourth important thing is that international exposure is also important. Although the engineering and technology faculty have some international exposure, but it is a time when we need people in social sciences, we need people in other engineering background, we need people in literature, we need people in languages. So their international exposures are also required. So these are some points which on the first point I can say that these points should be taken into the consideration for making a highly motivated and energized faculty members. That is what in the first point I have to say. Dr. Yogesh.
Thank you, Professor Vinay. You have rightly said that freedom is important. Yes, freedom is important. Money is also very, very important. No doubt about it. And the entrepreneurship. How can we allow our teachers to open your own companies? If we implement this, that may also change the structure, culture, and conduct of so many teachers. And Professor Pathak, also you highlighted now we have to rethink about the career advancement schemes and rotation of many policies and like headships and deanship in the university systems, so that more people can be motivated and energized. We have with us second panelist, who is the Vice Chancellor of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University, Delhi, Professor Anu Singh Laiter. May I request Professor Anu Singh to share her views about the subject, please.
Good afternoon to everyone. Namaskar. And thank you, Professor Yogesh Singh, for a very introductory and fruitful introduction to the topic. Actually, in continuation with what Professor Pathak said, I have some ideas to build on what he has already spoken about. When we look at the Gallup survey, which shows that the Indian employees are engaged, I'm talking about the workforce, Indian workforce overall. When we look at their level of engagement in our country, it is 24% of our employees, workforce, whether they are teachers or they are working in government departments or they are working in private sector, it's only 25% of them are engaged to the organization. They are not thriving on life. They are not highly engaged, but just engaged. But good news also is that the world average and the Asian average, the world average is 20% and the Asian average is 24%. So we are much higher than the world average. See the phenomena of social loafing and accountability. We find that the teachers who are good teachers also tend to be accountable and feel responsible and committed to their work. They are also satisfied with their work performance. They are also happy at their workplace. They take pride in their organization. So as Professor Singh rightly said, that we need to address this issue at the level of recruitment. While we recruit our teachers, we definitely want to we need to look at the special traits which teachers, the attributes which teachers are required to have. For example, being kind and compassionate, for example, being committed to their work. So there are so many attributes we attribute to teachers. So I think those are also important. We'll also find, as Vice Chancellor and at other positions, when I see, we also find that social loafing tends to happen with the underperformers and non-performers. It does not happen with the performing teachers per se. So I think we need to address this phenomenon of social loafing. All other parameters in place, we still find that social loafing has been happening. So accountability becomes very, very important here. So there is also a difference between teachers whose level of commitment and level of satisfaction and energy level of doing work is different in different type of institutions they are working for. Teachers who are working in public institutions, in government universities and colleges and government institutions, versus who are working in private institutions. So the plight of the teachers in the private sector is far, far worse, I would say, or not so good as it is in the government institution. We value government jobs for the reason that we have a lot of autonomy, we have participation in decision making, we are autonomous to an extent that there are no check and balances practically. Our salaries we are highly paid, our salaries are very motivating, and we have timely ensured promotions, and we also have freedom to move wherever we want to for academic activities. But look at the scenario in private institutions. They are highly disciplined because the kind of work environment, work culture they get in private institutions, this is what makes them highly disciplined. But they're also very frustrated. They are not well paid. Their performance may go up because there is a stick to take care of their performance. So I think the issue of autonomy in private institution is just not there. So we cannot compare the two institutions. So the strategies to motivate and synergize or energize faculty in government institutions and private institutions is definitely going to be different, cannot be the same. And UGC and Government of India should also take initiative to address the issue of motivating the teachers and addressing the teachers coming from the private institutions. Professor Vinay Pathak has already spoken about the regular faculty versus the contractual faculty. These issues, I think I shall not repeat. They also need to be addressed seriously, that we should have more number of regular faculty who would feel very committed and secure at the workplaces. Then there would also be difference between the college teachers and university teachers' performance and their level of engagement and their level of commitment to their organization. Much more social loafing happens amongst the college teachers than it happens amongst the university teachers. So we have actually all these years not seriously addressed this problem, and it continues that for the years which create the linkage between the school education to higher education is actually may not be as effective at the college level as is expected to be. So strategies for them also will be different. And we spoke about the promotions at different levels. I think I would completely endorse what Professor Pathak has said in the earlier discourse, that we need to monetarily motivate our teachers and incentivize research and teaching by constituting best teacher awards, best researcher awards, and recognition of all kinds. So a reward system needs to be in place for sure. University, so in UGC's IDP, that Institutional Development Plan, one important thing, and which is very interesting too, I think whoever has developed that draft, I'm really impressed by the fact that the institutional infrastructure and the design of the campuses have been emphasized in that draft. I find that while we design our university campuses, we design it in a very conventional manner, which are very boring places to go if one has to go very regularly. Look at the Google campus. What is so special about the Google campus? The Google campus has everything which will motivate as a human being. See, we are after all human beings. We don't stop being human beings while we are at workplaces. So when we move from our home to workplace, we also carry our own human nature along. So the option for recreation, the gym facilities, the yoga classes, meal and mess facilities, medical facilities, all of them, they become the hygiene factors, but they also become highly motivating factors for the fact that one loves and feels excited about going to such campuses. So we also need to look at designing our new campuses or our old campuses, refurbish them and make them more interesting for people. Entrepreneurial instinct in all of us is very natural, and there is a phenomenon called moonlighting which happens outside, and moonlighting is permissible. Moonlighting means when you are doing extra work other than your committed job, when you get into trying your hands on your interest areas, that is called moonlighting, and you are earning by way of that. While moonlighting happens, it is also acknowledged as an extended work in the corporate sector. But we do not have any such system to acknowledge that kind of work. Probably that's the reason that people extend their interest outside campuses beyond their academics, and they are not factored into their academic life. So that's very, very important to be acknowledged. Now, talking about that, how do we motivate teachers on day-to-day basis? We motivate teachers by valuing the teachers and respecting them. They get enough respect from the students. I don't think there would be teacher or teachers who are not respected by their respective students. I think that would be very rarest of rare cases. Teaching is as much a lifestyle as it is a job. We should also understand it from that point of view. The greatness of teachers, while they are good, is never acknowledged. We do not have systems to acknowledge that. And we do not need 1 or 2 programs a year to acknowledge their good work and their greatness. We need to identify such heroes who have gone the extra mile, helping students, helping society, helping institution to grow. Giving them a voice in the decision making is yet another important thing. That participation in every decision making at all level is very, very important. Financial autonomy is finally the autonomy being given to any institution or the individuals. And I think Professor Pathak had already spoken about it, that financial autonomy too needs to be given, and we need to be very, very liberal on our norms, our laws, our systems, so that research can happen on campuses. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Anu Singh. Yes, the good teachers are those teachers who enjoy their classes. If you do not enjoy your classes, then your students will also not enjoy. And that, we have to think, rethink. And you have rightly said a teacher should be very kind and compassionate, so that, the students can come very close to the teachers. Accountability, yes, but it's a very, very, very difficult word. Accountability, sometimes, under the pretext of accountability, we go for punitive actions and so many things also. It has some pitfalls also. But yes, regarding the rewards and motivation through incentives, we have to design new incentive schemes so that, everyone is, and it should not be for the best. It should be for everyone. When we say the best teacher, instead of saying best teacher or best researcher, we should say this is the standard. Those who are above that standard should be rewarded and recognized. Very, very good. And we should have the campuses like Google campuses. Yes, few universities should take steps. Government should help and give permissions so that other universities can also inspire from such campuses. In India also, we have very good Infosys campus and TCS campuses also. So companies have taken many such steps, but we have to take some such steps in our university system also. Now we have with us the third panelist, Professor Vijay Kumar Srivastava, who is the Vice Chancellor of Maharaja Sayajirao University of Baroda. And he is sitting in a room where I used to sit. Professor Srivastava, please. Professor Srivastava.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Oh, yes, you are audible.
Yeah. Respected Chairman of UGC, Professor Jagdish Kumar ji, Chairperson of the panel, Professor Yogesh Singh sir, our panel colleagues, Professor Vinay Kumar Pathak ji, Professor Anu Singh ji, Professor Rama Shankar Dubey ji, and other faculty colleagues who have joined this panel discussion. First of all, namaskar to all of you. Akhand mandalakaram vyaptam yen characharam tatpadam darshitam yen tasmai Shri Gurve Namah. चरित्र निर्माण, व्यक्तित्व निर्माण और शिक्षा के माध्यम से राष्ट्र के निर्माण में सेवारत सभी शिक्षक मित्रों को शिक्षक दिवस की ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं। Today we are celebrating the birthday of Sarpalli Radhakrishnan ji. Radhakrishnan ji used to say that teacher plant a seed of knowledge which grows forever. मीन्स शिक्षक एक ऐसे ज्ञान रूपी वृक्ष का बीज बोता है जो हमेशा बड़ा ही होता है, और ये बीज नेचुरली विद्यार्थियों में बोया जाता है। आज का ये जो टॉपिक है, शायद तक हमारे सर्वपल्ली राधाकृष्णन जी ने जो स्वप्न देखा था उससे काफी हद तक कैसे उसको इम्प्लीमेंट किया जाए उससे काफी हद तक जुड़ा हुआ है, जो कि टॉपिक है मोटिवेटेड एंड एनर्जाइज्ड टीचर इन हायर एजुकेशन। तो सबसे पहले तो मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा कि हमसे पहले विनय पाठक जी ने और प्रोफेसर अनु सिंह जी ने जो भी बताया मैं उससे पूरी तरह से एग्री करता हूँ। उन पॉइंट्स को मैं रिपीट नहीं करूंगा, उसके अलावा के पॉइंट्स मैं कवर करने की कोशिश करूंगा। मेरा ऐसा मानना है कि हर एक व्यक्ति, ना सिर्फ शिक्षक, हर एक व्यक्ति सेल्फ मोटिवेटेड होता है और उसकी खुद की एक ऊर्जा होती है, खुद की एक एनर्जी होती है। अब ये चीज डिपेंड करती है कि वो उस मोटिवेशन का और उस ऊर्जा का उपयोग कहाँ पर करता है। वो क्रिएटिव वर्क में लगता है या डिस्ट्रक्टिव वर्क में लगता है। अगर क्रिएटिव वर्क में लगता है तो निश्चित तौर पे वो जो ऊर्जा है, वो जो मोटिवेशन है, उसके विद्यार्थियों तक पहुंचता है। Our National Education Policy 2020 also emphasizes on motivated, energized and capable faculty members in higher education so that advancement of students, institution and professions can be achieved. I think now in our advertisements also, we should mention it as the desirable qualification along with the essential qualification, that the faculty members, those who wish to apply, they should be motivated, energized and capable of teaching and research and all the activities which they are supposed to do. To keep our MSU faculty members energized and motivated, I have formulated 5 Sankalp Sutra, which we have shared in Banaras Akhil Bharatiya Shiksha Samagam also. Again, I am repeating those 5 Sankalp Sutra. First is शिक्षा के साथ दीक्षा, दूसरा है प्रकृति के साथ संस्कृति, तीसरा है भव्यता के साथ सभ्यता, चौथा है ज्ञान के साथ विज्ञान और पांचवा है ज्ञान के साथ अनुसंधान। ये संकल्प सूत्र जब मैं योगेश सिंह सर जी जहां पर बीसी थे वहां पर मैं जब ज्वाइन करने के लिए आ रहा था, मैं रास्ते में था, उस समय मैंने सोचा कि कुछ ना कुछ उद्देश्य लेकर के जाना है एमएसयू के लिए। तो ये उद्देश्य मैंने बनाया और ये सभी मेरे सारे कार्यक्रमों में ये शिक्षा के जो 5 संकल्प सूत्र हैं इनको मैं बोलता हूं और सारे फैकल्टी मेंबर्स से मैं बुलवाता हूं। तो एक तरह का जो एनर्जी का जो लेवल है वो तो मैं बोल सकता हूं कि निश्चित तौर पे एनर्जी का लेवल बढ़ रहा है। दूसरा एक जो मेरा ऑब्जर्वेशन है और जो मेरा एक्सपीरियंस मैं शेयर करना चाहूंगा, मुझे लगता है कि लिसनिंग टू द फैकल्टी मेंबर्स इज द बेस्ट वे टू एनर्जाइज एंड मोटिवेट देम। अगर हम उनको ध्यान से सुनते हैं, निश्चित तौर पे उनकी एनर्जी लेवल आगे बढ़ती है, उनका मोटिवेशन आगे बढ़ता है। अभी हाल में ही 15 अगस्त को मैंने एक स्कीम लॉन्च किया जिसको मैंने नाम दिया टीसी विद वीसी, वो जो कि मेरे ऊपर ही लागू होती है। व्हाट इज टीसी विद वीसी? TC with VC means tea and coffee with Vice Chancellor. Now I'm going to have multiple sessions of all the stakeholders in the group of 20 people. I will listen to them and I will try to resolve their problems so that they can get motivated and they will feel energized. तो इस तरह की जो विभिन्न योजनाएं हैं उसको देख करके लगता है कि उसमें हम लोग एनर्जी लेवल उनका बढ़ा सकते हैं और मोटिवेशन भी बढ़ा सकते हैं। एक और जो मेरा ऑब्जर्वेशन रहा और मेरा शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में अनुभव रहा, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि टीम वर्क से जो मोटिवेशन आता है, टीम वर्क से जो एनर्जी लेवल बढ़ता है, वो किसी दूसरी पद्धति से हम लोग नहीं बढ़ा सकते। इंस्टेड ऑफ एनर्जी आई विल से इट इज सिनर्जी व्हेन वी वर्क इन टीम। सो आई रिक्वेस्ट टू ऑल, आई थिंक दिस इज से द टीम वर्क कल्चर व्हिच वी शुड ट्राई टू इनकलकेट इन आवर यूनिवर्सिटीज, इन आवर इंस्टीट्यूशन। सभी लोगों ने ऐसा बताया कि मोटिवेशन पैसे से होता है, मैं भी काफी हद तक इस बात से एग्री करता हूं, बट आई थिंक मोटिवेशन कम्स इफ वी टेक द ऑनरशिप। अगर हम ऑनरशिप लेते हैं तो हमारा मोटिवेशन निश्चित तौर पे बढ़ता है। दूसरा मेरा ऐसा मानना है कि अगर एनर्जी बढ़ाना है तो एनर्जी बढ़ाने के लिए बाकी तो बहुत सारे साधन हो सकते हैं, हम अच्छा न्यूट्रिशन ले सकते हैं, लेकिन जो हमारे सबसे अच्छे बेस्ट फ्रेंड माने जाते हैं बुक्स, अगर हम डेली स्वाध्याय की आदत डालें तो उससे निश्चित तौर पे हमारा एनर्जी लेवल आगे बढ़ता है। संस्कृत में अगर आप देखें, शिक्षकों को 5 कैटेगरीज में बांटा गया है। पहली कैटेगरी है अध्यापक, दूसरी उपाध्याय, तीसरी आचार्य, चौथी पंडित, पांचवी दृष्टा और छठवीं गुरु। अध्यापक वो होते हैं जो इंफॉर्मेशन देते हैं, उपाध्याय वो होते हैं जो इंफॉर्मेशन के साथ नॉलेज भी देते हैं, आचार्य वो होते हैं जो स्किल डेवलप करते हैं, पंडित वो होते हैं जो डीप इंसाइट्स ऑफ सब्जेक्ट्स भी आपको बताते हैं, दृष्टा वो होते हैं जो विजनरी व्यूज अलोंग विद क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, आपको क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग के साथ विजनरी व्यू देते हैं, वो दृष्टा होते हैं, और जो हाईएस्ट कैटेगरी है उसको हम गुरु बोलते हैं। गुरु वो है जो आप में बुद्धिमत्ता जगा दे और उस बुद्धिमत्ता से आप अंधकार से प्रकाश की ओर आगे जा सके, यानी कि गुरु अवेकन विजडम इन यू दैट लीड्स फ्रॉम डार्कनेस टू द लाइट। तो इस तरह से मैं सभी शिक्षकों को बोलता हूं कि शिक्षक होने से ज्यादा आवश्यकता है हमको गुरु होने की। इसीलिए जो हमारा पहला संकल्प सूत्र है शिक्षा के साथ दीक्षा, शिक्षक शिक्षा देता है, लेकिन जहां तक दीक्षा की, शिक्षा के साथ दीक्षा की बात है, उसके लिए निश्चित तौर पे गुरु का दर्जा अति आवश्यक है। गुरु शिक्षा के साथ पे दीक्षा भी देता है। गुरु के व्यक्तित्व में गुरुत्व होना चाहिए, ऐसा मेरा मानना है। गुरु का ऐसा व्यक्तित्व होना चाहिए कि उसमें अपना खुद का गुरुत्व है, यानी कि मोटिवेटेड टीचर्स ऑल्सो मोटिवेट टू देयर स्टूडेंट्स एंड अदर्स। अगर उसका वो गुरुत्व है तो वो खुद तो मोटिवेट होगा, साथ ही साथ उसके विद्यार्थी भी मोटिवेट होकर के जिस भी दिशा में अध्ययनरत हैं वो निश्चित तौर पे आगे बढ़ेंगे। दूसरी अगर गुरु के बारे में मैं बात करूं, गुरुत्व के अलावा गुरु की वाणी में गुरु तत्व होता है। गुरु तत्व से यहाँ पर मेरा तात्पर्य एनर्जी से है। पहला जो मैंने आपको बताया गुरुत्व, वो मोटिवेशनल फैक्टर है, और जो गुरु तत्व बताया वो एनर्जी लेवल को बढ़ा सकता है। यानी कि एनर्जाइज्ड टीचर्स आल्सो पास ऑन देयर एनर्जी टू देयर स्टूडेंट्स एंड अदर्स। अगर वो खुद में उनका गुरु तत्व है तो उससे वो दूसरे की एनर्जी बढ़ा सकते हैं और दूसरे की क्षमता, बौद्धिक क्षमता भी बढ़ा सकते हैं। Guru enables dear students to face the challenges of tomorrow and also teaches how to convert the challenges into opportunity. गुरु वो व्यक्तित्व है जो आपको चुनौतियों का सामना करना सिखाता है, साथ में आप चुनौतियों को अवसर में कैसे परिवर्तित करें ये भी सिखाने का काम मुझे लगता है गुरु करता है। टीचर्स दिवस हम लोग मना रहे हैं, टीचर्स डे हम लोग मना रहे हैं। मेरे हिसाब से ऐसा मानना है कि टीचर वर्ड एक एब्रिविएशन है। इस एब्रिविएशन का अगर हम लोग फुल फॉर्म देखें तो मुझे लगता है टीचर इज टैलेंटेड, टीचर इज एजुकेटेड, टीचर इज अकाउंटेबल, टीचर इज कंसिस्टेंट, टीचर इज हेल्पफुल, टीचर इज एनर्जाइज्ड एंड एफिशिएंट, एंड ऑल्सो टीचर इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल। तो जो ये TEACHER है, इसमें अगर आप देखें तो टीचर्स की सारी क्वालिटीज एक साथ आ रहे हैं। टीचर इज टैलेंटेड, एजुकेटेड, अकाउंटेबल, कंसिस्टेंट, हेल्पफुल, एनर्जाइज्ड एंड एफिशिएंट, एंड ऑल्सो रिस्पॉन्सिबल। तो इस तरह से अगर हम लोग देखें, एनर्जी लेवल हाई करने के लिए और मोटिवेशन करने के लिए ये सारी क्वालिटीज टीचर्स में होनी चाहिए, ऐसा मेरा मानना है। अभी हम लोग रिसर्च की बात करें तो हमारे फेमस साइंटिस्ट एल्बर्ट आइंस्टीन ने कहा, इट इज द सुप्रीम आर्ट ऑफ टीचर टू अवेकन जॉय इन क्रिएटिव एक्सप्रेशन एंड नॉलेज। अगर हमको बच्चों में ज्ञान बांटना है और उनको एक्सप्रेशन का थॉट प्रोवोक करना है जॉयफुल मैनर में, तो टीचर ही वो व्यक्तित्व है जो इस परंपरा को आगे बढ़ा सकता है। तो इसी की क्रम में अगर हम लोग आगे देखें, मोटिवेशन बढ़ाने के लिए और भी लोगों ने जैसा कि बताया कि हम लोग बहुत सारे रिसर्च इंसेंटिव्स रख सकते हैं जो कि टीचर्स को मोटिवेट करें। अच्छा पेपर पब्लिश कर रहे हैं उसके लिए हम लोग अलग से इंसेंटिव दे सकते हैं। अच्छे रिसर्च के प्रोजेक्ट्स ला रहे हैं, हम लोग खुद भी सीट बने उनको दे सकते हैं। ये सारी प्रैक्टिसेस हमारे योगेश सिंह सर को मालूम ही है कि MS यूनिवर्सिटी में हम लोगों ने करके रखी हुई है, जिससे हम लोग टीचर्स को मोटिवेट करने का प्रयत्न करते हैं। कैरियर एडवांसमेंट स्कीम हुआ, फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम हुए, स्किल डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम हुए, वो सारी चीजों से हम लोग किसी ना किसी तरह से उनको मोटिवेट कर सकते हैं। एक और चीज जो मेरे दिमाग में आ रही है जिससे हम लोग मोटिवेशन और एनर्जी लेवल को हाई कर सकते हैं, और हमारे एनईपी में भी उसकी चर्चा किया गया है, वो है इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी रिसर्च की बात। अगर एक पर्टिकुलर फैकल्टी मेंबर दूसरे फैकल्टी में जाकर के मिलता है और बातचीत करता है, तो उसका मोटिवेशनल लेवल जो है, उसका जो एनर्जी लेवल है, वो निश्चित तौर पे परिवर्तन होता है, क्योंकि अलग अलग संकाय में, अलग अलग विभागों में अलग अलग तरह का इकोसिस्टम होता है, अलग अलग तरह का वर्क कल्चर होता है। तो मैं इस प्लेटफॉर्म के माध्यम से एनईपी में जो कि इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी रिसर्च की बात कही गई है, उसके लिए भी मैं आप सभी से गुजारिश करता हूं कि अपने अपने संस्थानों में उसको आगे बढ़ाएं। अंत में मैं एक एग्जाम्पल देते हुए अपनी बात को पूरा करूंगा। ये एग्जाम्पल मोटिवेटेड और एनर्जाइज्ड टीचर्स को कैसे हम लोग मेंटेन रखें, इसके बारे में बताता है। किसी ने एक शिक्षक से पूछा कि आप क्या करते हो? तो शिक्षक ने बहुत ही सुंदर जवाब दिया। आप उसका जवाब ध्यानपूर्वक सुनिएगा। सुंदर सुर सजाने को साज बनाता हूं, नौसिखिए परिंदों को बाज बनाता हूं, चुपचाप सुनता हूं शिकायतें सबकी, तब दुनिया बदलने की आवाज बनाता हूं। समंदर तो परखता है हौसले कश्तियों के, और मैं डूबती कश्तियों को जहाज बनाता हूं। बनाए चाहे चांद पे कोई बुर्जे खलीफा, अरे मैं तो कच्ची ईंटों से ही ताज बनाता हूं, मैं तो कच्ची ईंटों से ही ताज बनाता हूं। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ जय हिंद, जय भारत, जय जय गरवी गुजरात।
बहुत बढ़िया श्रीवास्तव जी, आपने एकदम बहुत बढ़िया बात कही कि टीचर को क्या करना चाहिए, और उसका एब्रीवेशन भी आपने बना दिया। इतना सब हो जाए तो ये फिर तो कमाल ही हो जाए। काश ऐसा हो पाए, हमको प्रयास ऐसा ही करना चाहिए। बिल्कुल ठीक है। और एक टीचर वो है जिसको यदि वो पढ़ा रहा है तो उसको वो खुद एनर्जाइज हो रहा है, उसके मन में एक खुशी आ रही है। एक अगर आपने क्लास पढ़ाई और एक अच्छी बॉलीवुड की फिल्म देखने का मजा आपको नहीं आया, तो समझिए कि आपको अपने मन को समझाने की जरूरत है कि आप यहाँ के लिए थे कि नहीं थे। ये भी सोचने की बात है। आपने चरित्र निर्माण और व्यक्ति निर्माण की बात की, वो मूलभूत बात है कि वो तो देश के लिए और इस समाज के लिए हमको करना ही चाहिए, जो सबसे बड़ा काम है। और टी एंड कॉफी विद वाइस चांसलर बहुत अच्छा है, करिए इसको, बहुत अच्छा है। नए नए अनुभव आएंगे, कुछ अच्छे आएंगे, कुछ कम अच्छे आएंगे, पर अनुभव आएंगे आपको। अच्छा है। और मुझे लगता है हर वाइस चांसलर को ये करना ही चाहिए। मिलने जुलने से बहुत सारे मन के वहम भी दूर हो जाते हैं, क्योंकि गॉसिप्स यूनिवर्सिटीज में बहुत चला करती हैं, वो कम हो जाती हैं यदि आप इजीली सबको अवेलेबल होते हैं। नाउ thank you, Professor. And now I would like to request Professor Ramashankar Dubey, Vice Chancellor, Central University of Gujarat, Gandhinagar. He is also from Gujarat, and he is the Vice Chancellor of a Central University, comparatively a new university, but university is doing very well. Professor Ramashankar Dubey.
Thank you, Professor Yogesh Singh ji. A respected Chairman UGC, Chairperson of this panel, distinguished academicians from across the country, and all the viewers. First of all, I extend my greetings to you all on the occasion of Teachers' Day. Now, in improving the quality of higher education, the most critical factor is the quality of faculties and their proper engagement. Because faculties are the backbones of our higher educational institutions. So it is very important and pertinent as well that best faculty are recruited, and faculties which are recruited, they should be motivated and energized. They should remain motivated and energized throughout their career. Then only we can get good productivity in higher education institutions. I would like to focus some of the basic points. For example, at the most basic level, when we are recruiting a faculty, maybe from India, and maybe many of the times we are hiring faculties from abroad as well. So we must ensure that the basic infrastructural facilities exist in the university. For example, good sitting space, congenial sitting space, lecture rooms, good lecture rooms, wonderful laboratory compatible to the global standards, with basic instrumentation facilities, that the textbooks and e-books in the library, they are the basic things which are needed for the faculty members, because many of the times we see that faculty members, they join from abroad and we don't get basic facilities. And apart from that, for their wards as well, for their children, for schooling, for their wives and other family members, some recreational facilities within the university, because these are also certain components which provide motivation for the faculty members. And whenever we are going to recruit faculty members, we must not compromise with the quality. That is very, very important. Because if we recruit a meritorious faculty member, then only we can keep them motivated and energized. That is very, very important. Now, my next point is that many faculty members are specialized in various disciplines. For example, somebody is specialized in music, some in art and crafts, some doing good science. So a culture of consultancy needs to be promoted in a better way in the campuses. Because if somebody is specialized in music, he or she can take up that music consultancy. Somebody of industrial nature, for example, chemistry doing good work, he can have consultancy in the industry. So this culture of consultancy should be promoted, and the revenue generated can be appropriately distributed between the faculty member as well as the institution. Now, there should be much more interaction of faculty members with the industry, not in the sense of upgrading curriculum or that for going for good quality research, but also interaction should be for the purpose that to undertake industry-oriented research, because there are many industry persons who are ready to collaborate in research in such a way that they can give the money to the faculty members for doing the research, and the part of the outcome they can donate to the faculty members or to the institution as well. So that type of research projects also should be promoted. And a good ecosystem for quality research, already pointed out by the Pathakji, but I would just like to mention some of the points in this one. That young faculty members have many times very good ideas. So we have proper incubation facilities for their idea, like startups, innovation cells proper that should be in place, so that a new faculty member has certain good idea, that ideas can be incubated. And more than that, that patenting facility, it should not remain complex. Our rules should be that a faculty member has done good research, had come out with a good process or good product, so he can easily get it patented, because the rules sometimes are very complex. Many times monetary problems are also involved. So higher education institutions should have a clear patent policy so that our young faculty members can be promoted to take up more and more patents. And a good thing pointed out by the chairman UGC today, that the research grants for faculty members. It is very essential that a new faculty member joins in an institution, because many times they come from different good research organizations, and immediately if you do not provide them good research facilities, they sometimes they get discouraged. So for that purpose, seed money is very, very important. Depending on the talent of faculty member, we can provide seed money ranging from 1 lakh to 10 lakhs like that, so that they can initiate their research careers. And it is a good thing on the part of UGC that today such research grants have been announced for the newly joining faculty members, because it will give them a good opportunity to go ahead for the research. Other things regarding a reward of the contribution of teacher, it is very, very important that a reward should be done publicly when a faculty member is coming with some outstanding achievement, outstanding performance, he must be rewarded, and there should be a benchmark. For example, in terms of scientific publications, if a young faculty member, any faculty member, publishes a paper, let us say, more than 7 impact factor journal, so he or she should be publicly rewarded in front of all faculty members, so that other faculty members will also get motivated out of that and will be tempted to do good and good research. So that also one can take up more motivational aspect. Other thing, it is institutional leadership also, that it is very, very important for motivating the faculty. So from time to time, motivational lectures also need to be arranged. And of course, that the faculty development programs are there, but faculty development programs should be oriented in such a way that they should be discipline specific from teacher to teacher. For example, if similar types of faculty development programs for social sciences, humanity may not suit for science discipline teachers. So like that. So discipline, a specific faculty development programs should be done. And regarding that career advancement promotions, very nicely pointed out, career advancement promotions should be done regularly, timely, and of course, it should not be at a charity. It should be merit-based, depending on the merit only, and not on the basis of seniority or charity. And one rightly thing, some of our earlier speaker pointed out about that promotion of professors. The senior professor scheme exists, but very few universities have implemented it so far. So that should also be implemented across the country for all the teachers who have served for 10 years as a professor. And more than that, after superannuation of the professor, it is good that today we could hear that a nice scheme has come up by the UGC. But for that purpose also, after superannuation, for example, somewhere superannuation age is 62 years, in Central University 65 years. So abruptly after 62 and 65 years, if the teacher who is so much of experience, many good scientists, I mean, they cannot do anything in the university. So if such type of schemes are there, and many schemes already exist, for example, emeritus professor scheme, professor of eminence, and other fellowship schemes. So these schemes also should be implemented across the country, and it will give a good motivation for the superannuating faculty members. And our national education policy also emphasizes that the expertise of the superannuating teachers can be utilized by the faculty members for mentoring new faculty members. So in the nutshell, it is essential that the faculty members in the higher education institution, they remain motivated, remain energized, enthusiastic, and active to discharge their duties effectively. So with these few words, I close it here, and thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you very much. And Professor Dubey emphasized about the quality of faculty and their engagement, meaningful engagement. And yes, we should focus towards industrial research. And many universities and many faculty members are focused for pure academic research. But yes, we should look for the industrial problems and try to find the solutions. And but you know, we have to think about it. Why should we retire research-oriented good professors from university system? Re-employment schemes are there. Yes, they are there in some universities, but it is very, very difficult sometimes to implement also. But you know, we have to rethink about this, that there should be some standards and measurement. But you know, why should we retire research-oriented good quality professors? Nobody in the world, and particularly in the developed countries, retire good professors. And our country cannot afford this luxury of retiring people. We have to think about it. And like span of 35 and 40 years, we have to have some milestones so that our teachers are motivated, energized for so many years. Research is one thing, research incentives, and you know, Professor Pathak has said rightly that our teachers should be allowed to start their own companies. Then we should also, have a flexible structure. Professor Anu Singh has said about we have good salaries, but you know, there should be other schemes, rewards and motivation through incentives. And this social loafing, we have to address this issue also. And we should have Google campuses. Professor V.K. Srivastav emphasized on Charitra Nirman and Vyakti Nirman and self-motivation. But you know, in our country, our problems are very different from some of the good countries, some of the developed countries of the Western world. Our country is 140 crore people. It means what? Our aspirations are very, very different. We cannot afford that this quality is inversely proportional to quantity. No, now we need in our country quality as well as quantity. That's why our instruments, we should not replicate every instrument of Western world and put it here. We have to redesign our own instruments for that. to improve the quality and to have large number of students in our university systems. And this national education policy also emphasizes on large-scale multidisciplinary universities in India. And this is possible on the shoulder of motivated and energized teachers only. So recruitment is key here. We should be very, very careful, and we should recruit those who are teacher type, having qualities, as Professor Anup Singh has emphasized, compassionate, kind, and accountable, responsible. And Professor Srivastava has given a definition of a teacher, also acronym, and all abilities are very important. Yes, they are important. And with these words now, Diksha, can we take some question answers?
Sir, there are no questions. In fact, people have been praising, but there are no questions as such.
Okay. So I think with these words now, time is also over. We close this session, Motivated and Energized Teachers. And I would like to thank University Grants Commission for starting this new celebrations like Shikshak Parv for 5 days, and discussions will take place, 1 hour discussion for 5 days, and new and good things will come out of this. And if we are able to implement some of the recommendations and the panel discussion recommendation, we also would like, we will submit to the University Grants Commission for the necessary action. With this word, I'm thankful to the panelists, our panelists, those who could spare time, Professor Vinay Pathak, Professor Anu Singh, Professor Vijay Kumar Srivastava, and Professor Ramashankar Dubey, and Chairperson University Grants Commission, Secretary University Grants Commission, and other respected and distinguished academicians who have joined this panel discussions, either through this platform or through Facebook and other social media platform. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.